Every great writer uses this one secret weapon, and they don't want you to know what it is. At least not consciously. You won't find it in a textbook or a self-help book. Instead, you'll only discover it through this video. So if you want to know what that is, then keep watching. Hello lovelies, welcome to our Writer's Corner with me, Lisa Shimkus. Today, I want to talk about the secret weapon of every great writer, the use of emotions. Think about your favorite books and your least favorite ones. Chances are, the ones that you can read over and over again draw on your emotions. And the ones that you'd rather chuck away, well, they only dump information at you, leaving no room for you to emotionally connect with the characters. In other words, great writing draws on the emotions of the reader, keeping them hooked and glued to the book that they are currently reading. Or they may have read this book years ago and are still stuck to the book because of how it made them feel. If you're watching this video, there's a high chance that you're either considering writing a book or you are currently writing one. As you write, it's important to keep your audience in mind. You want to not only hook them to your writing, but to keep them coming back for more. And the best way to do so is through their own emotions. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to do just that with these 5 techniques. Here they are. The first is to consider why emotional writing matters. Emotional writing is important because it evokes feelings in your readers, allowing them to make a strong connection to your book. Readers can relate to the characters and content on a deep personal level, and this in turn makes your writing more memorable and impactful. This then creates a loop where your readers will keep coming back for more. So as you write, keep your readers' experiences in mind. The second technique is to unlock your emotional reservoir. Use your own experiences in your writing. If need be, write about your own emotions using how you feel and what your reactions are, such as your facial expressions, the motion of your hands, etc. Also use sensory details, such as what something looks like, feels like, smells like, tastes like, and so on. Doing so will engage your reader and make them feel like a part of the experience, rather than someone looking in on a situation. Now consider what emotional language techniques you should use. One technique could be to change up your word usage. For instance, when it comes to a dialogue, instead of using said, you could use other words that describe how your characters are speaking, such as shouted, whispered, or murmured. Another change could be to your use of verbs and adjectives. Verbs describe an action or occurrence, such as walk, eat, sleep, and write. Adjectives describe a noun, such as big, small, beautiful, and grotesque. Make your characters active and use a synonym instead of the first word that comes to mind. And thirdly, show, don't tell. I know, redundant from everything that you've heard from your teachers as well as other authors. Show, don't tell means be descriptive when it comes to your writing. Again, use your 5 senses to describe someone or something. An example would be a dark, silky beast stalked over, instead of a werewolf approached. Next, consider how to navigate emotional writing. I'm not talking about the tone and mood of your book, nor how you want your readers to feel, though both are extremely important. In this case, I'm talking about the things to avoid when you're using emotional writing. Firstly, be objective as you write. Don't be biased and force your reader to feel a certain way. Let your reader decide for themselves based on the information that you supply through your writing. Think of it as every bad guy is actually a good guy in their own eyes. So if you're writing from the antagonist's point of view, create a sense where the reader wants to root for them through understanding them. Because honestly, you'd be giving away important information if you just gave this to your reader and told them to hate this person. They would just skim your book to the end and go, I saw the ending coming, 2 stars for effort. Secondly, as you write, consider your audience's perspective. You may know your story and characters like the back of your head, but your readers don't. So make your writing as inviting as possible by providing details. How much, you might ask? Well, enough to get your point across. But you don't have to go as detailed as Stephen King. Instead, pick up your favorite book and read a chapter or two and see how the author uses detail to reinforce emotions in either you or the overall feel of the book. Thirdly, as you write, be authentic and genuine. This means be yourself as you write. Sure, you may need to read and conduct research, and in the process, you may find yourself sounding like these authors. But be sure to give your writing its own voice, your voice. And the only way to do so, to find your true and authentic voice, is to keep writing. The last technique to reinforce powerful emotional writing is to put it all into action. This is where you stop watching other videos and podcasts, stop reading, and start applying what you have learned to your own writing. If you're wondering how exactly to do so, here are 3 ways. Write from your own experiences. Instead of making something up or conducting way too much time into researching something, write about what you know. I know I've said this already, but I'm going to say it again. Write from your own experiences. This is because it'll make your writing more real and relatable to your readers. Write about relatable struggles and triumphs. Why? Because every great book is about the ups and downs of the main character and how they overcome their trials to become the best version of themselves. This is called the hero's journey. Incorporate storytelling techniques to captivate your readers. In simple terms, decide how you want your story to come across. There's the hero's journey as mentioned before, and others can be using multiple points of views, flashbacks, focusing on the main conflict, building suspense to the plot, dialogue, and so forth. And there you have it, the secret weapon of every great writer, the use of emotional writing. If you found all this information to be helpful, but also daunting and overwhelming, then that's great because it means you're learning something new and you may need to rewatch this video and take notes. However, in short, great writing draws on the emotions of the readers, keeping them hooked and glued to the writing. This is the use of emotional writing. If you want to write a book that makes readers return to it and recommend it to others, then work on your emotional writing skills. The best way to do so is to read works by your favorite authors, take notes on how they incorporate emotional writing into their works, and apply it to your own. So what are you waiting for? Turn off your screen, or at least open up a Google Docs or Microsoft Docs and start writing. Have fun, and I'll see you in another video. Bye! Are you looking to simplify your writing? There was a time when you had to write with only pen and paper. Today, you don't even have to know how to spell. You can simply use voice to text. In this video, I want to talk about the use of AI and how you can use AI to write for you. I will be sharing 3 tools that I specifically use, and I know they will help you too. So keep watching. Hello lovelies, welcome to A Writer's Corner with me, Lisa Shimkus. I am the author of the award-winning book, A Town Called Home, and the ongoing Happily Ever After series. Today, I want to talk about the use of AI and how you can use that to simplify your writing so you can spend less time thinking and more time writing. Now, I grew up in the day and age of pen and paper writing. I had to have good penmanship and be able to read and write in cursive. I also could only write with a pencil. My writings had to be edited in red ink, rewritten in pencil, and only once it was perfect could I use blue or black ink to reproduce my writing. It was a lot of work for my neurodivergent brain. I absolutely hated it, which is why I am so grateful for computers and writing softwares, or applications as they're called today. One recent invention I've learned to appreciate is artificial intelligence, AI. But what exactly is AI? In the case of writing, AI is machine learning. It uses algorithms to analyze data from the internet, learn from this data, and make decisions, or spit out answers to you. This system can help writers like you and me simplify our writing process. I admit I use AI to help me create content, decide what blog posts to write, as well as generate story ideas for my novels. The use of AI is extremely helpful because, again, it helps the writer spend less time thinking and more time writing. However, there is a caveat to this. AI is not 100% correct. You still have to do your own fact-checking. AI also isn't going to spit out a full-length novel for you to copy into your word processor and self-publish. I do not recommend doing this. I work for a big library system and get to see tons of new books every day. Part of my job is not only preparing these material for the public, but also deciding which material are legible and which ones we should send back. The ones produced by AI 100% are very obvious. We send these back and get a refund. The ones that are produced by AI 100% are very obvious. Not only are they not legible, but they're also not spot on in images. Even words, I should say. I say this because if you're planning on using AI to help you with your writing process, please know that you still need a human aspect to all of this. AI is not going to catch errors the way that the human eye does. And please don't plagiarize if AI gives you examples from other authors. We have had to recycle a so-called best-selling book when it came to light that the author actually plagiarized his whole book off of other authors. Please be smart when using AI. Take the ideas and templates given by AI and make it your own because you are still a creative. Now let's move on to the 3 AI tools that I use that I know will help you too. The first tool I used is the YouTube Studio. The steps I'm going to share with you cannot be viewed on the application. You'll want to use the website. In your YouTube Studio, you'll see a content section in the sidebar. When you click on that, you'll have a window with other tabs. The Inspiration tab is one of these. This tab uses AI to generate other ideas for you based on your current channel topics. This is a recent discovery for me, and I am so grateful because this tool allows me to, again, spend less time thinking, less time researching, and more time writing. Oh, and creating content, of course. The second tool I use is Canva. Canva allows you to create documents, presentations, websites, you name it, and it's all free. The AI tool is called Magic Design. To open this, you need to start a new design, then press the image with the stars and start telling AI what you need it to do for you. Super simple tool. A third tool I use is WriteSonic. Just like the first 2 tools, you can use this one to generate ideas for you. I use WriteSonic to generate the outline of a novel for me, and I'm actually working on the 3rd draft of one at this moment. So am I in love? Yes. To get your hands on this tool, see the description box below. If you're looking to simplify your writing and spend more time writing than thinking or researching, I highly recommend using AI. This does not mean, however, to use AI to write everything for you and turn in the work. Please don't take AI's credit. Like everything else in life, you still need to turn in your effort, do some fact-checking, and make this your own. Use AI's ideas and templates to give you story ideas, and then make those stories your own because you are still a creative. And that's all I have for this video. If you found it super helpful but also need more, check out the videos on the screen and I will see you there. Take care and have fun reading and writing. Bye!